What is up, everyone? It's your girl China, aka China One, and welcome to my castle. Today we're going to be seeing what spirit, what the universe is giving you as a Christmas present. Okay, so pile 1 is going to be snowman emoji. Pile 2 is the Christmas tree emoji, and pile 3 is the reindeer emoji. Okay, so we're gonna do P and P. Pause and pick your pile. Okay, so pause the video, and when you pick your pile, I will see you there. What is up, my pile ones? If you chose the snowman emoji, then congratulations, you have found your pile. And we're just gonna get right into what your Christmas present will be from Spirit and the universe. Okay, so first we have the Hanged Woman, which is Pisces. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse, which is Sagittarius. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is, if it's focusing, Taurus. No, my bad, y'all. It's Capricorn. And we have the Six of Pentacles, which is Taurus. Oopsie daisy. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands, which is both Aries. I see the Eight of Cups showing a little bit. That's Pisces. And I'm just going to put this here so that I don't forget about those. So, your Christmas present from Spirit and the universe is time. Spirit is slowing down time for you guys. It's basically going to be like how, in movies, when things go slow motion and then the person can like see everything coming at them at once and is able to dodge and has time to think before they act and things of that nature. That's what Spirit is doing for you. Considering this is a present, I'm going to go ahead and assume that things have just been very chaotic or just very fast paced. This year for you may have literally flown by. You might find yourself in the Hanged Woman position, wondering like, where did the time go? Did I use my time efficiently? Was I able to do kind of like everything that I wanted to do in this year? Because the year is coming to an end. So Spirit they're like, okay, we're gonna slow you down. Give you a moment to recover. We're going to give you time to, assess your finances. We're going to give you time to share your finances to where you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to go get. You have time to sit down and, look at your piggy bank, basically. And with the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands being on the bottom of the deck, one after the other, considering I shuffled, I'm just going to go ahead and say that instead of skipping from one step to the next, skipping from one point to the next, this is a gradual progression kind of thing. Like you actually get a chance to plan before you progress, before you start taking steps. It's like a gradual incline instead of going from 0 to 100 real quick. The Six of Pentacles is really making me think like you have actually meditated, like how she's sitting, you've actually meditated when it comes to your finances, when it comes to opportunity. It's like you've really been like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been giving my all, and I feel out of breath. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I feel kind of like a shortness of breath. Like I've literally been running, ripping and running is what I feel like, and have had no real time to just be grateful or appreciative of my actual accomplishments. I'm saying my because it's like I'm put in the place of you. I feel tired. And so that's, they're giving you that time with these two. Like, okay, sit and think, have I even been able to really utilize all that I've gained this year? Have I been able to utilize it? Have I been able to thank, the universe, Spirit? Have I been able to thank myself? I'm getting the answer is no, but that's your Christmas present. So let's get into Oracle. So first we have Let Spirit Be Your Guide, Hawk Spirit, number 32. So Spirit is just asking you to trust the process now. It's going to be a big difference going from, you know, ripping and running to sitting down somewhere. Sitting down somewhere, just enjoying silence, enjoying peace, or just enjoying the small things. Simple stuff like just being able to sit and drink tea in the morning without feeling like, oh my gosh, I gotta go, or this is what I have to do today. You know, it's like enjoying the simplicities of life, and even that, enjoying simplicities with other people. And we have slow and steady wins the race. Turtle spirit. Number 62. 32 and 62. Okay. This is obvious. Slow and steady wins the race. That's, you know, what I was saying about gradual progression, actually being able to plan. And also, the more you're able to take steps and hit accomplishments, hit goal after goal, the more you're able to appreciate those steps. When you're just going, it's like you don't even have time to think about how well you've been doing, because you're just going, you know? And we have wasp spirit. Sometimes life stings, which this is also your, like I said, this is your time to recuperate. This is your time to really process what it is that has happened. Especially with the hanged woman, it's like if you've made any mistakes, that's your time to think about it and think about, okay, what can I repeat next time? What can I not repeat next time? What can I save myself the pain of doing? You know, stuff like that. What are my lessons that I've learned? And then we have community. This is giving me like Snow White vibes right now. It's like, okay, just enjoying nature, enjoying people, enjoying having friends. I feel like maybe you guys have not been able to go out with your friends or family. They might often tease you or say things like how they never see you, how they see you once every blue moon, how the only time they see you was by accident, you know, stuff like that. They might joke about it, but now you're getting the time to actually, like, I'm getting you guys might be treating your family or your friends to certain things, like taking them out to eat, maybe you guys go on a little shopping trip, things of that nature, where you're actually able to see the fruits of your labor and enjoy it without having to worry about how you're going to how you're going to replenish, how you're going to get that money back. You're kind of starting to get that idea like, okay, it's going to come back to me regardless. No matter how much I spend, I'm always going to be able to get it back. And the Eight of Wands, although it's in reverse, is ruled by Sagittarius, so you guys could still be taking a trip. But this is one of those things where it's not like a rush sort of trip. Like, because you know how some people, they just want to take a trip so bad that they end up like, you know, kind of rushing it. Like, they don't get to plan out, you know, where they want to go. They don't book certain tickets. You know, they don't look into things beforehand. But you all might be planning a big trip where you actually get to plan, like, where, what events, what food, you know, things of that nature. So that's why in reverse, I kind of get that trip vibe too. And then we have stand still. That is just so funny. Spirit is literally like, bro, sit down. Like, let me move this. We're gonna make you sit down. For some of you, this isn't gonna be like you're being made to sit down. It's gonna be more like just from pure exhaustion, kind of collapsing kind of vibe. Once you realize you have the time, it's gonna be like, whoo. For others of you, it is going to feel like it's like you're being forced to sit down. Because some of you thrive in that kind of chaotic, fast-paced environment. Others of you, not so much. It just happens that that's what this year was about. But either way, y'all getting sat down. And then we have truth. And to me, it's like, let me put it here. To me, it's like when you guys are going to be put in kind of an in-between. So look, see how this tree, like, on one side is kind of like super windy and the clouds is gray and it's like kind of a storm on one side, and then on this side it's more calm. That's literally, you're going to be in the in-between of that. So you are going to be in the process of trying to figure out what the heck happened this year, but also being able to see, it's like seeing the good and the bad. So you'll be able to cut your losses with certain things, like I was saying. And on the bottom of the deck, we have White Raven Spirit, Trust in the Magic, and Swan Spirit, Time for a Deep Dive, numbers 60 and 66. Ooh, 666. Hello. Which, you know, like I was saying, trust the process. That's this next chapter. And it's gonna, after a while, even for the ones of you who like to rip and run, it's gonna be a welcome change to be able to actually think and not have to feel like, you know, you're like on Jeopardy or something where your answers are timed, you know, like it's like you feel like the answers are timed and you got to finish first. That's the equivalent of how fast things have been going for you. And then on the bottom of this deck, we have Freedom and Courage. So now you get to fly idly. Like, this is not where like you have a particular, you still have a destination in mind, but this is where you could sightsee, you know, like you don't have a deadline, so you can take little stops on the way when you see things you like. So I guess this is the equivalent of having a hobby and having a career. So you get to make time to do things that you like versus things that, you know, is your career basically. Or they might be one and the same, but still you can pick and choose when you want to do something for monetary gain, or if you want to just do it because you just like to do it. But I think that is all that I have for you today, my pile ones. If you're going to pick another pile, I will see you there. If not, like if you want to, comment if you want to, subscribe if you want to, maybe even share, and I will see y'all next time. Bye. What is up, my pile twos? If you chose the Christmas tree emoji, then congratulations, you have found your pile. And we're just going to get right into what your Christmas present is going to be from Spirit and the universe. Okay, so first we have the Empress, which is Taurus and Libra, Venus energy. We have the Eight of Wands, Sagittarius. We have the Ten of Wands, also Sagittarius. We have the Ace of Pentacles, which is more Earth sign energy. Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. I almost can remember my Earth signs. Alright, so and the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Wands and Judgment, which is Scorpio, Judgment, Scorpio, and fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let me put this down so I can remember it. Alright, so your Christmas present is going to be feeling valued, feeling pampered, feeling supported, feeling like you matter. You all are my pile that is just always moving. You all are a fast-paced pile, and you all tend to take on a lot of burdens along the way. And that's only because you all move so fast, but you have a really good heart and you want to help people. So it's because you move so fast, you all take on so much. So not only are you dealing with your life, your issues, your responsibilities, but when you meet people along the way and you want to help, then you take on their issues, their responsibilities, and things of that nature. So you all often feel unsupported. You feel like you're not valued. You feel like people kind of aren't as grateful to you as they should be. And you all don't necessarily help or give things to receive anything back, but you're like, at the very least, you feel like people don't acknowledge how much you really do for them or how much you do in general. Some of you all are parents, and you all feel like you will have to be the parent of more than just your kids. So that is another way that you're like, man, like, what the heck? I'm doing everything for everybody, but who got me for real? So with this Empress and this Ace of Pentacles, Spirit is going to show you physical proof that you are indeed supported, you are indeed valued. But for a lot of you, I'm getting that you all have always been supported, been valued. you just are not receiving acknowledgement or gratitude in the way that you yourself would give somebody gratitude. You all's love language could be gift giving or acts of service. And maybe a lot of people are not showing up for you in these ways. So you kind of just feel like you're not loved. You feel like you're not supported. Others of you just simply move too fast. So people don't even feel like they can really get in contact with you to even show gratitude. Or maybe people try and some of those people get the vibe that you kind of brush them off, or that you all might be the type to be kind of overly humble / gracious, and you're kind of just like, oh no, don't worry about it, or oh no, it's fine. But y'all are like, but that's just something people say. Like, that's just me being nice. That's just me being, cordial. I don't really mean that I don't want anything back. You all feel like they shouldn't be asking you if, they should get you something in return, or if they should do something in return. You just want people to just do it. So this Christmas, it might not actually be exactly on Christmas for a lot of you. Some of you all's presents and things of that nature might be a little bit delayed. For some of you, the present might come before then. But I get the vibe that a lot of people, especially with the Knight of Wands, are going to really be trying to, heat things up. Like, you guys might have a lot more love interest than you realize. People that are having crushes on you that you just don't necessarily realize. Now, I will say, you all might have a lapse in judgment sometimes, like I was saying, because you all just move very, very fast. Not only that, a lot of people don't give love and gratitude the same way that you would, and you can't necessarily expect that, but that doesn't mean that you're not valued as a person. But Spirit is like, okay, fine, we're just gonna have to show you then. But let's get into some oracles. So first we have Hummingbird Spirit, be here now. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Number 34, this is what I'm talking about. You all don't sit down long enough. You guys don't have conversations long enough for anybody to really be able to show you just how much they value you. You may not feel like you're being kind of hasty. You may not feel like you're in a rush when you're talking to people, but you all kind of are that kind of ripping and running person, that person that people never know when you're gonna leave. So they kind of just like a hummingbird. Hummingbirds are extremely fast. So you think they're sitting one place, the next minute you blink and they're gone. So people feel that rushed energy and just feel like it's never a good time to properly convey how they feel. People also don't necessarily know what it is that you want. You might be somebody who likes a lot of things, or you might be somebody that already has everything, or you can just simply provide everything that you want for yourself already. So people never know what to get you. They don't know. So it might be a good idea to say exactly what you want. For some of you are doing that. You're going to be like, hey, I want this, I want that, I want that. You might even post your list on social media of things people can get you, and you might indeed receive more than you thought. We have time for a deep dive with Swan Spirit. Spirit, number 60. Spirit is going to make you reassess exactly like what it is, or why, or how it is that you feel so unsupported and unloved. Spirit is going to make you think about your role. Let me move this. Spirit is going to make you think rethink your role in all of that. Like, what is it that you're doing that makes other people, not want to be as forthcoming with gratitude and things of that nature? Or is it kind of a mental thing? Does it have to do with your inner child, the way you were raised, why you feel this way? Spirit's going to make you think about it. We have truth transcends excuse me. We have truth transcends illusion, number 22, Dragonfly Spirit. Y'all, I stay having issues with the focus. If you don't like me, just say that. Okay, good enough. So, truth transcends illusion. The whole thing about it is, Spirit already has been putting people in your path to try and slow you down, to try and get you to think and realize how much love you and support you really have around you, or try to be mindful of different ways people show love. but you haven't been all too receptive of that. So Spirit's just like, okay, look, we're going to put it in your face so that you can't doubt it at all. With truth transcends illusion, we're going to have to just flat out show you, like, you are loved, you are supported. This is how people feel about you. You are an amazing person, but you do need to slow down. We have enlightenment, which is basically the same as truth transcends illusion. You have to sit and, let the fire burn a little bit, literally. Like, let the flame get settled before you start moving on. We have forgiveness. There might be a lot of times where you just completely ghosted people, or kind of like assumed somebody didn't really wasn't really appreciative of what you did. There may have been a lot of times where you kind of just dubbed somebody because you felt like they weren't able to really help you. But there's going to be forgiveness on both sides, from like you and from the people that care about you, because there's a lot of misunderstandings here. Misconceptions revolving around you and your relationships with other people. Like I said, you all are hard to tie down, you're hard to come across, you're hard to get time in with, because you guys are busy people. And that's all good and fine, but you have to make time and make room for the things that you want. You might feel like, oh, love and support and gratitude and things of that nature, that doesn't need space, that doesn't need time. I'm living proof. But it's like, no. There are a lot of times where people feel like you don't have time for them as well. So you have to think about it in that way. You have to see both sides is all. You can't feel like you're the only one who's unsupported, unloved. And like I said, that could stem from something deeper, like inner child, the way you were raised, things of that nature. And then we have change. So you're going to be changing your mindset, for one, and changing the dynamic you have within your relationships. For one, being more vocal about what it is that you want, what it is that you need, what it is that you're expecting, because the only way you'll really be able to, disappointment is a human emotion, and it comes and it goes. But the only valid reason for you to really be having it is if you told somebody what you expect, what you want, what you need, and then they didn't follow through. Then it's like, okay, I can be disappointed, and okay, I can cut this person off or I can put them in a certain category that fits what they can do for me, or how our relationship can be, things like that. On the bottom of the deck, we have Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait, and a Lizard Spirit, dream the world into being, 38 and 53. This is literally Spirit like, okay, you gonna see, just watch and wait. And this is why I was also saying that some of the presents might be coming a little bit after Christmas and more into the new year, where people are really getting around to I'm sorry, I try to get my mind to work, so I be making random noises, but where people are finally, clearing their minds, getting around to the things that they've been wanting to do. It's like a New Year's resolution sort of thing. So you're going to be one of the things on people's lists. And with dream the world into being, a lot of you try to be too practical most of the time. So Spirit is like, just dream a little bit, live a little, okay? You don't always have to be on go mode. You can take time to reflect. And just because you tell yourself you're not feeling a certain type of way doesn't mean that it's actually true. And we have wisdom and leadership on the other bottom of the deck. The thing about it is you can't do everything yourself. In order to be a leader has to have its followers. A leader has to have its workers and things of that nature. So you have to work with other people. You have to listen to other people. And you guys think just because you all are very, very helpful, that's not an even exchange. You're just helping people and not really giving the space or time, like I was saying, for people to help you back or to give back and things of that nature. You're only giving, but you're not receiving. And you can't necessarily just blame that on everybody else. So let people in. Pile 2 is just the basic flat out what there is. Let people in. Okay, but I think that's all that I have for you today, my pile twos. If you're gonna pick another pile, I will see you there. If not, like if you want to, comment if you want to, subscribe if you want to, maybe even share, and I will see y'all next time. Bye. What is up, my pile threes? If you chose the reindeer emoji, then congratulations, you have found your pile. And we're just gonna get right into what your Christmas present will be from the universe and spirit. Okay, so first we have the Queen of Swords, air signs, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We have the Four of Cups, which is Cancer energy. We have the Four of Swords, which is more Libra. And then we have the Nine of Cups, which is Pisces. Okay. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the bottom of the deck. On the bottom of the deck, we have Judgment, which is Scorpio, and Princess of Cups, which is water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And I'm going to put this here so that I don't forget about those. Okay, so pile 3, your Christmas present from the universe. I'm hearing that a lot of you may be in a position of leadership, or you all really want to be in a position of leadership, but some of you all just feel like a fraud in general, like in life, but also in something that you are really talented at. You all have that imposter syndrome. It's like you, like in this Four of Cups, you've always felt like there was something vital missing. Like you really want to be this girl boss. No, you all really want to be this powerful leader, this person that can take charge, this person that can say no, set boundaries. And it's like sometimes you see glimpses of that person, and other times you just feel like, you know, that's not you at all. Like you'll never be able to get there. So Spirit this is a Christmas present of sorts, because they're going to be showing that they're like not necessarily giving it to you, but that it's something you've been had in you. I kept hearing Trump card when I was shuffling, because it's like, this is something you've already had. This is something like her in this card. She already has this one, even in the Four Swords. After rest is like figuring everything out, but she has the sword in her hands the whole time. Like it's been there. And with the Nine of Cups, this is like hit seriously close to home. This is a wish that has been one for years in the making, where you've been working yourself up to being this person. Spirit is showing you that all that hard work does indeed pay off. And like Judgment is going to be like going in from one reality and coming out to your next reality, but it's going to seem like it's all of a sudden, but in reality, this is something that has taken time. For you, it's going to be like a light bulb, which is this card. Like it's going to be like a light bulb comes on, and then all of a sudden you're speaking your mind. But in that, you're not going to like completely be a different person. Like you all might see other people who are very witty, quick with their thoughts, you know, quick with comebacks, or quick with solutions, just quick in general, and you all might, you know, admire them. But the thing about it is, you're not meant to be somebody, or you don't need to come off as somebody who is like super quick with comebacks. What matters is what you say, not how long it takes you to say it. You know what I mean? So there's a sense of embracing, you know, less how much time it takes, and embracing the quality of what comes out. So it's quality over quantity, really. That's the present for you, is a sort of mindset change. And with the Princess of Cups, it's really about you loving who you are, loving the way you talk, how much you talk, loving what you talk about, loving your thought process, things of that nature. You're still a Queen of Swords. You know, you don't need to compare your queen to somebody else the way somebody else is a queen. You don't need to you don't need to compare your leadership to somebody else's leadership, you know? There are different leaders all over the world. Okay, so now let's get into some oracles. We have Embrace the In-Between, Flamingo Spirit, number 26. So this is what I mean, like embracing, the quality of what you say, the quality of your ideas versus how much time, You have to learn to love that just simply thinking period, the period where you're just thinking. You need to embrace when, if you're in an argument or having a serious conversation or debate, it's more important that you say, hey, we need to take a pause. I need to think about this. Or, hey, I need you to just be quiet for a second so I can think, so I can get my response, and not let anybody pressure you into giving a response prematurely, giving a response before you are ready. Because that is when you really beat yourself down later on, when you're able to think and you're like, oh, I could have said this or this. I probably would have helped them understand better where I was coming from. Or I didn't even mean to say what I said. What I really meant is this. And, you might be that person where, because you always feel pressure to respond in a certain time and in a certain way, you are never able to be understood because you can't really get across or articulate what it is that you actually want, what it is you actually mean. And then a lot of times you may end up backtracking, and that obviously questions your integrity. It questions, your word. Like, okay, so is your word bond or is it not? Like, do you just be saying stuff? Like, what's happening here? But if you actually convey and express, like, I need time to think, that's it. That'll do it for you. And I see that that's going to be your present, is realizing that that is your biggest trump card, time. You thought it wasn't, but it really is. And, that way, when it comes to conversing with people, you're holding the control more of the conversation because everything's on you. You're telling the other person, you have to wait on my response because what I have to say is important, and you're not about to make me rush this, and you're not about to dictate how and when I can say something. And we have Be at Home, Wombat Spirit, number 68. Okay, let me move this out of the way now. So with Wombat Spirit here, there is like I said, a sense of feeling at home in who you are, in your processes, in the way that you think, in the way that you love. You have to be at home, and you have to be not even just satisfied. You have to love these things about yourself, and you have to understand that it doesn't make you weird. It doesn't make you like slow or anything, that it takes you time to think of a response. That's a lot of people, you know what I mean? And even if it wasn't, it's you in general. So you should not be comparing yourself to other people. And I'm not gonna lie, you all probably have been experiencing lots of frustrations, lots of setbacks, feeling like no matter what you do, no matter what you say, like things don't turn out the way you want it to. Like, darned if you do, darned if you don't. And the reason why I get that is because I've had the video cut off on me like 3-4 times doing your pile, and that has not happened in a while. So I'm experiencing your frustrations too. Anyways, we have Koala Spirit. Spirit has a plan, number 35. Basically, Spirit was just trying to give you some thick skin as well. When it comes to the way you communicate, you all are on the more sensitive side, which is not a bad thing at all. You all can pick up on others' emotions very easily, because you all feel your emotions in such a deep way, where it just kind of takes over your whole being. So when it comes to other people, there are a lot of things you try not to say, but other people don't pull those same punches for you. But you all are very mature, and that's another thing that it's so you, and it's not something you should change, but it's also a matter of still standing up for yourself. You don't have to be the type of person that takes cheap shots in order to make somebody feel some type of way, but it's like you cannot hold certain things back out of fear that you're going to hurt somebody else, because your intentions is what matters the most. So as long as you're speaking your truth and not trying to hurt somebody, it doesn't matter if what you say is hurtful. If it's important to you and for you to, if it's the truth, then you just have to say it. And most of the time, a lot of you might be very soft-spoken as well. And that might also be a reason why, for the most part, you feel like a fraud, or you feel like people don't or won't take you serious. But it's like, somebody who isn't going to listen, or somebody who is going to be dense on purpose, is just going to be dense on purpose. And those are not the people you should use to measure your sense of, or your capability to communicate. And we have fulfillment. This card had a tough time coming out, but I knew it wanted to, and that's exactly the vibe I get from you. Like the leadership person, that's the kind of relationship you have with yourself, where it's tough for it to come out, but when it does, it's like you're at the pinnacle of who you want to be. It's just like you have to get more comfortable in that role. It's not like you're a fraud or an imposter. It's just that you're not comfortable being that leader yet. But that's another thing that takes time. I feel like like I said, your thoughts and your view of a leader is one way, but that's not the type of person you are. So it's just like, it doesn't go with each other. You have to think of a leader as who you are right now. We have adventures. You have to be willing to explore that. You have to be willing to go through some awkward conversations, some awkward debates and arguments, some positions and opportunities that make you uncomfortable, in order to really understand what kind of leader you are, what kind of leader is most comfortable for you. Because there are multiple different ways to be a boss, to be a leader. It's so many different ways, and you don't have to be that person that's witty. You don't have to be that person that's very confrontational. That doesn't have to be you. It's because it's not you. So it's like, there's no way to be that person. You cannot be an imposter, because you can't be that person regardless. But you can be you, and that's what's most important. And with Gateway, like I was saying, Spirit is giving you opportunities and positions to see that, okay, this is who I am, and I communicate best in this type of environment. I communicate best when I have this amount of time. And you guys should like start memorizing some phrases that will help you in a moment of crisis. So like when you're getting into it with somebody, one that I mentioned was, I hear what you're saying, but I need time to think of a response, or like give me time to get a response. There has to be some phrases that are like mayday, mayday, to get you out of certain situations, to where you can go sit and think about what it is that you want to say, what you want to do, how you want to move forward. And I don't know if I really touched on Spirit has a plan a lot, because like I said, the video has been cutting off consistently. But at the same time, looking at the koala makes me think of how when koalas are wet, how scary they look. So it's the same thing for you all. Although you all might look cute, although a lot of people might underestimate you, you might even feel like your appearance is a bother. But you don't need to start wearing certain things or trying to change your whole physical look, or change who you are in general, in order to be somebody who is a force to be reckoned with. And you don't have to prove that you are a force to be reckoned with, because you have things that will show for itself, so you have to let yourself be who you are, so that other people can actually see who you are. Because the reason why you feel like a fraud is because that's essentially what you're trying to be. Because the reason why it's not balanced, where sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't, is because you're not allowing yourself to get used to the position. You immediately run from it. Like you might say, that reminds me of that TikTok, like, what's your favorite cuss word? Probably. Like, you know, you say something a little bit rude, or not even rude, but you say something that's like a harsh truth, and then you kind of giggle and retreat back into your shell of niceness. And it's like, no, you said what you said, stand on it. Like, and I wouldn't say you all are a scaredy cat. It's just things like confrontation and conflict that it makes you uncomfortable. That's all, which I understand. On the bottom of the deck, we have Badger Spirit, Be Fearless and Bold, and Chameleon Spirit, Act As If. We have 14 and 4. And that's literally what I just described about Be Fearless and Bold and Act As If. It's like you have to, it might feel like pretending for a while, and that's okay. How many days does it take to start a habit? I think like 28 days. So let's say for 28 days you just speak your mind authentically, or you use a certain phrase like, oh, I need time to think about it, for however many days it takes to start a habit, and see how much your life will transform in between that time. And on the bottom of the other deck, we have Release and Leadership, which I was talking about this whole time. But as far as release goes, you guys have to accept all of your many different colors, and you have to accept that different attitudes, different personalities in a way, come with certain situations. So where you might be one way in one situation, one way in another situation, even that is okay. It doesn't mean you're a fraud. It just means different strokes for different folks now. It just means that you are a deep person and you have multiple layers, and that you have the capacity to know when certain situations calls for a certain type of person, and you can be all of those people whenever you want to, as long as you allow it, and as long as you realize that you don't have to just be one way. You really don't, because if you're not the same way with, you know, all of your friends and all your family, you don't have to be the same way with all of your opportunities, all of your conversations. Like, it just does not have to be that way. But I think that's all that I have for you today, my pile threes. If you're going to pick another pile, I will see you there. If not, like if you want to, comment if you want to, subscribe if you want to, maybe even share. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.